Hello, everybody, and welcome today to the Oregon Diecast GGR IndyCar Series for Season 3 here of today's regular season finale here from Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Edmund Fitzgerald Memoriam 150 as one day from today, tomorrow, some years ago. I don't know. I'm not a very big Edmund Fitzgerald historian, but apparently, race director Ethan Harrison and some of his other fellow race control members, Blake Kennedy and Aaron Giffen, are very big historians of the Edmund Fitzgerald. So they've decided to name today's regular season finale the Edmund Fitzgerald Memoriam 150. I'm joined in the booth today, as always, by Quentin Haley. Quentin, how are we doing today, buddy? How are you feeling? You got the big win last week at Gateway by taking your own brother out for the win here in 3 and 4. Run us back through that moment and how that felt for you winning here in GGR.
Well, yeah, I'm just really happy to be back in the booth. Brazen, you and I, we took a couple weeks off there, gave the reins over to Tyson Gifford and Jay Mulder. Just happy to be back here. Happy to be a winner. I'm the only broadcast right now with a win between Brazen and I, because Brazen is a loser. But really just feeling good, feeling pretty sporty right now.
Well, Q, some of us haven't made a start in GGR this season, so that's why we haven't won. Yeah, great to be back in the broadcast booth with you, of course. Our viewers are probably a little happy to have you and I back up here. Me running the race control, broadcast control stuff instead of Jay Muller. But of course, Jay and Tyson did a great job, so we're glad to be back here on Work TV. As qualifying appears to be winding its way down with the final 10 seconds here, and we've got some big points implications here heading into tonight's regular season finale. The big one for us to note here is the battle for the final playoff spot. Top 10 in points make their way into the playoffs, which start next week, and there's some big faces running for that playoff spot here. We'll go over them just as soon as we get through tonight's starting grid. Starting on the pole for today, previous race winner, Outlaw Racing's Blake Kennedy in the 75. To his outside, currently on the cutoff there, P10 in points, the 99 of Justin Haley. To the inside of row 2, we have the 77 of Ethan Harrison. To his outside, a little bit of a surprise here, the 73 of Hunter Piper. Row 3 inside, P5, Anthony Sharps in the 92 machine. To his outside, Nick Pena in the 52. And rounding out your top 8 here on the inside, Garrett White in the 26, and Jaden Carter rounding out P8 in the 7 car.
Row 5, we have Ryan Kim on the inside, Jay Mulder on the outside. Row 6, Dimitri Munderos and Ryan Martin. Row 7, Aiden Oxstein and Henry Clappert. Henry, we haven't seen him all that much. Most winningest driver in GGR. Happy to see him back. Starting in 15th, Aaron Giffen. 16th, Hassan Harnish.
Kason Harnish. Yeah. We have a pretty big field for today, 22 to be exact. Rounding out the field here, 17th, Ethan Workman, the last car to put down a qualifying time. Looks like he had a little bit of a struggle there. Usually a guy who's pretty fast here. He's got to win this season, so we'll see if the 13 can work his way through the field. And the rest of your guys who did not qualify, the 80 of Christian Visconti, the 02 of Josh Patterson, the 03 of Hunter Fox, the 56 of Mason Suit, and rounding out the field, the 37 of Jack Leslie. Something to note, the 02 of Josh Patterson, he's your points leader heading into tonight's regular season finale, and he can clinch the regular season championship here by finishing 17th or better. So if 5 cars wreck out tonight, Josh Patterson's going to have that thing clinched. So we'll be trying to keep him on standby here for a possible mid-race interview, just in case 5 cars happen to wreck out and he's one of the last ones left. As we were talking, though, the playoff grid getting very tight here. We don't have an infographic for that, but we can tell you how it is shaping out here. And the big thing, P2 Justin Haley in that 99 car, as we mentioned, he is sitting P10 right now, 4 points above the cutoff. The guy that Justin is battling for that cutoff is the 56. That is Mason Suit. It appears Mason is actually not on the track. There we go. Mason Suit, so he is 4 points back on Justin Haley, and then still somehow in the fight is Nick Pena in the 52. However, just above Justin are a couple of other guys who can really put a fight in here. As we see, Nick Pena chose to start from pit road for tonight's event. Dimitri Mundros in the 1 car, he is +5 on the cutoff, just 1 point above Justin Haley in P10 there. So he is in danger of possibly falling out, as well as Jack Leslie in the 37, and we saw him qualify towards the back because, well, he didn't put down a time. So the 37, he is +8 on the cutoff, 4 points above Justin Haley, and so that's going to be our big race to watch tonight. Obviously, aside from what's going on here with Blake Kennedy on the pole for today's event, he is locked into the playoffs, so it's good for him. Quentin, what are your thoughts on what we might see here tonight at Charlotte in the regular season finale here?
Yeah, well, real quick, I thought it was really interesting how a lot of these playoff guys who were fighting for a spot didn't take a time or are starting from pit lane. It'll be interesting to see if they're just trying to save a car, expecting, one of those typical GGR quick cautions that we usually get. But it's a wide open track, so hopefully these guys can keep it underneath them and retain some talent all through these 100 laps.
Yeah, as the pace car makes the hard left turn here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag will wave. Blake Kennedy and Justin Haley will lead us to the green here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway as we go through the field. Side by side, they will be entering turn one. We have a little bit of a break back here towards the field as looks like not everyone quite got going here. Josh Patterson already making huge moves. He's up to P13. Remember, he did not qualify and started P19, so not sure what happened on that start. Overall, though, Blake Kennedy and Justin Haley will lead us off of turn number 4 here, and lap 1 is complete of 100 here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
I think this is going to be pretty typical of what we see here tonight. Around the top 5, Justin Haley and Blake Kennedy both just kind of keeping it low. Really calm, really cool, collected. We saw it last week at Gateway where the top 5 really didn't cause any issues all night. Really, it was the back markers that just kept spinning themselves out and wrecking. Kaz Gralla is one of those noted. He kind of lost it near the rear. It's like when you go to the back of the field, you just lose all of your talent.
Well, and you talked about the top 5. Garrett White was part of that last week at Gateway, and he made a quick 3-wide move there on Haley and Harrison, jumped to the top side. Garrett White, he is looking for that lead there. He is seeing red, as some might say, down the back straightaway here as he's trying to hang on the outside of Justin Haley. Haley moves to the middle now, and they're 3-wide for a moment, entering turn 3.
Yeah, it looked like Haley thought about throwing a block there, but just that inner racer in him thought better of it. It's only lap 3, and we have 100 laps to go. Or sorry, excuse me, 100 lap race here. So would have been pretty early for that aggressive block, but Haley has now started ripping the high line.
Yeah, we got a little quick pre-race talk with the driver of the 99, and he mentioned that tonight he is points racing, trying to make sure that he secures that final playoff spot or even gains a few positions here. And right now he would be gaining on both Jack Leslie and Dimitri Mundros, so he is very safe right now above the cutoff. But of course, it's only lap 4. You got to make it to lap 100 to see if you truly make it into the playoffs or not. And right now, side by side, 2x2 for the top 4. This is gonna get interesting really quick here.
Yeah, normally in GGR races, if they were 2x2 like this, I'd be kind of scared that we were going to get a caution, but all 4 of these guys are pretty calm, cool, and collected drivers. They got a lot of talent, they got a lot of laps under them, and you see Ethan Harrison back out. I guess he just didn't want to be a part of this almost 3-wide battle.
Yeah, as Haley trying to work the outside on Blake Kennedy. Of course, the IndyCar tire model really doesn't make... you don't really get tire wear here on these things. As much as you would a NASCAR stock car or even something as simple as a street stock. So running the top and the bottom, these different lines, they really won't hurt your tires enough to imbalance things as caution flag is out and it looks like Aiden Oxidine is in it. And
well, that's a Mason Sweet also involved. That's a big crash. We got cars flipping over, blowovers.
That is, wow.
Mason Sweet without a front and a rear wing. That's something we're very common and used to around here.
Big thing with Mason's suit, he is fighting for that playoff spot. Let's see what happened here. We're on board with Aiden Oxidine. There's actually a bet placed in the GGR Discord. Of course, no money actually placed, but some said that Aiden Oxidine or Mason's suit, one of those two would be the cause of the first caution. So we're trying to figure out here where Aiden Oxidine may have fallen his way into this one here, as he was up here towards the front and going into turns 3 and 4 here. He was in line with Ryan Martin, and let's see what happens with the 4. Oh, looks like a little bit of contact between Piper and Martin. Oxidine had nowhere to go, and
yeah, just collecting Mason's Sweet. I'm not really sure, actually, if that was Mason's fault for once.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for Suit that he got some damage because, well, he had to take his fast repair, and ultimately that'll hurt him for the long run here, as looks like Justin Haley has scored the leader. I believe they're having to wait for the pace car to come by. Hunter Fox is in pit road.
Yeah, real quick, we saw Justin Haley take the lead there that last couple laps. He's really making that middle groove line work. I mean, he had a lot of speed. Really didn't get much of a fight out of Blake Kennedy. I'm really surprised that maybe that middle line is preferred.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how things work out here as these guys are waiting for the pace car to come by them. Let's get into some track info for today's race at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The oval track length is actually 1.5 miles here, located in Concord, North Carolina, at an altitude of 676 feet. Well, weather for tonight's event, decently cool, 81 degrees, 82-degree track temp, 12-mile-an-hour wind speeds, partly cloudy skies here with no humidity, so it's actually a little warm for the time of year, but I don't really know what day this is set in. I'm going to assume mid-May because I don't think Ethan changes the dates on these things when he sets up the sessions, so um,
Well, we're here at Charlotte, America's home for racing. A really cool little facility. They got a dirt track and a driveway. If you go to the dirt track in real life, you can probably pick up some of my car pieces that I left there from running the Dryden Short Track Nationals when I absolutely just packed myself into the wall.
yeah, well, unfortunately, we all have our rough weekends in racing, so always good to have a story to tell from your early racing days, and hopefully someday down the road when you have 800 races instead of 8, you're able to remind yourself of the time that you had a good learning experience at the dirt track at Charlotte during the Dryden World Short Track Championship.
Well, to all those aspiring racers out there, I really just want to say what you need to do is get on iRacing with your brother, run GGR at Gateway, and just run second to your brother who's running first, and then just wreck him.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's a really good way to build your confidence in your family bonds. Wouldn't you agree, Brazen?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have a brother to wreck on iRacing, so I wouldn't quite know about that. But obviously, it seems like it's worked out well for you and Justin, as Justin's fighting for a playoff spot while you get to come back here in the booth, and your win means perfectly, pretty much nothing. So back here, while we're pacing under yellow, the pace car finally got by these guys. Mason's suit is running the apron there, not sure what he's doing. He actually doesn't have as much damage as I thought he would, so he might be able to get out of it with some optionals there. And P1 though, Justin Haley getting some laps led here. That's good for the driver of the 99, as a win would pretty much seal him into the playoffs because he wouldn't be losing any points to the guys behind him. So that'd be huge for the 99 if he can win and get his way into the playoffs here. Garrett White, P2, and Blake Kennedy so far running out the podium.
Brazen, I think we have some new paint schemes on these Indy cars. We want to go through maybe one or two of them real quick.
Yeah, well, as we're looking right now, Blake Kennedy, he's thrown on an Izzy scheme. Let's see, through the field, we got Josh Patterson in the O2. He's already up in the top 5. He's having a good drive here. Like we said, if he finishes 17th or above, he clinches that regular season championship. So keep an eye out for what happens here tonight. Mason Suit, looks like he changed his National Guard scheme. He and Aiden Oxidine, of course, always run the same scheme. Aaron Giffen, he changed his car as well. Nick Pena, running a Turn 4 graphics scheme. Let's see, through the field, Ryan Kame had a slight change. He's still in a blue car, but it's a little bit of a brighter blue there on that 21 machine. Case Harsh, we've not seen him race here before, but he is in the, I believe, the GoDaddy IndyCar. Aiden Oxnard, as we mentioned, he changed schemes. Henry Clappert, always in the Monster Energy car. Christian Visconti, he's got that Limeade Media 80, and I believe that's pretty much it. Hunter Fox, we haven't seen this season. I don't believe we've seen Jaden Carter either. And then Anthony Sharps, and of course Ryan Martin. He's 2 laps down after that big flip, so.
But good to see Ryan Martin back. Visconti, Christian Visconti. This is his first time at a GGR race this season. Happy to have all these new faces, and I'm hoping that Charlotte's a fun time for them and they keep coming back. We got a pretty large field here tonight as the pace car is pulling off.
Lap 10 of 100, 1/10 of the way through, 10%, however you want to put it. Justin Haley fires off in the restart zone, and we are back green flag racing here at America's Home for Racing. As Haley crosses the line, Garrett White will take P2, and Kennedy and it looks like Harrison side by side here for P3.
Another great start by Justin. We saw last week at Gateway, he was just really good on these restarts. He must have them figured out. I don't know if that's that real life racing experience, but he's just always so strong firing off.
Yeah, and as we see, Ethan Harrison, I don't know if he's lifting or what, but he's kind of backing off a little bit here. And meanwhile, Josh Patterson, aggressive as always from P19. He is fighting for P3 now with Kennedy. The O2 is looking to go to the lead here. I didn't think the O2 would be able to gain that many positions that quick, but he is up plus 16 here, 12 laps in, and we have a battle for the lead. Side by side, Garrett A. White and Justin Haley. Not for
Yeah,
long
I'm not
though.
really sure if Justin Haley will really fight all that hard here. I mean, like you said, it's only 1/10. Quick mass, by the way, really showing that education you're getting here in America. Really putting that to work. Yeah, like I said, Justin really not fighting, just kind of slots in back in a third.
Oh, Patterson went to go to the middle and then goes to the inside of Garrett White. He's on the apron. Josh Patterson's going for the lead. He said he wants to clinch the regular season championship by winning this thing. And if I'm Haley, I might be a little bit worried about the aggression of both the guys in front of me. The 26, formerly of Nova Sim Racing, and the 02, currently on Nova Sim Racing. That team as a whole, very well known to be an aggressive team, and for now the aggression has to lay off because, surprise, surprise, it looks like we have another caution here, and Garrett White is involved in it.
Really unfortunate, like you were just seeing all of our fans back home. He was running on the top three, trying to make some moves for the lead, and then just kind of loses it on the backstretch.
Yeah, right here, as we saw, he was battling with Patterson for the lead. And we'll get a quick look here, see what happened as they got onto the back straightaway. Actually, I believe it was on the front stretch, but yeah, Patterson, you saw the very aggressive move to the inside here on White. And then as they got off of 4, not really sure what happened. Maybe it was on the backstretch. I don't know. ATVO sometimes likes to show us the entire lap to let us know what led up to them wrecking when it literally means nothing. Um,
Just some good context.
oh yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, down the back straight away.
Well, folks, yeah, so Garrett White just, I guess, didn't see that car stopped on the backstretch there. Just wasn't able to avoid him.
We're gonna have some green flag pit stops now. Looks like Josh Patterson is gonna lead us down. Looks like Justin Haley followed him down there. Ethan Harrison P1, he chose to stay out here. So Hunter Piper, it appears, was the stopped car on track, and he will be he's off the track right now. So that leaves 21 cars left. Remember, if 17 finish this race, then Josh Patterson automatically, even if he does finish last in 17th, he will clinch that regular season championship. It looks like Henry Clappert, he is on pit road, down a lap. Looks like Blake Kennedy's down a lap as well, or maybe ATVO is just glitching out. Ryan Martin 2 laps down, Case and Harnish 2 laps down, and Garrett White. Garrett White had to tow after that incident. So Ethan Harrison, that happened right in front of him. He is race director, and really interested to see what his take on that incident is. Let's see if we can drag Ethan in here and get a little perspective here on what he's got going on. Hey Ethan, you're in the Work TV booth, buddy. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, as race control, I think you just saw the incident that occurred on track. We want to know here, as race director, what are your thoughts on the incident that just occurred for that yellow here?
Um. Yeah. I I don't really have any words for it. I can confirm it wasn't intentional, but it is still what I would say actions not appropriate for this, and so the driver was removed from the server, and our thoughts are with Garrett and Garrett because he went to the moon. So
All right,
yeah.
Ethan. Ultimately, pit stops happen. You take the lead here, so good luck in the rest of this race. Hopefully, we're interviewing you sometime later today.
Yeah, hopefully it's on better circumstances.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks, Ethan. All right, so that was Ethan Harrison. Got a good word in with
We,
him there. Key, what are your
we always
thoughts on that?
Well, first off, we always appreciate our drivers and race control taking the time to come in to the broadcast during the race. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a really good decision to remove him from the race, even if it wasn't intentional. That's just a bad precedence to set if you just kind of let that go.
Yeah, sometimes you really got to get a good talk with race control, find out what they're doing. Of course, usually when something happens in like NASCAR, it's usually pretty publicized, especially if a driver gets called to the hauler. So, of course, you always want to hear from your race directors as to what's going on with the situations on track, seeing what happens there. So, good to know Ethan Harrison is getting something done about it. As pace car lights are still on, let's go through the field here. Let's see some of the guys who stayed out here. Your top 5, Ethan Harrison, Nick Pena. We have Jay Mulder 3rd. Aiden Oxidine recovering from that big wreck. He's 4th. And Aaron Giffen quietly 5th. Looks like Justin Haley beat Josh Patterson off of pit road. And he will be P6. And I'm noticing Ethan Workman, he's got some rear wing damage to that 13. Wondering how that'll affect him throughout this race. Christian Visconti, first GGR start. He's probably already seen quite a lot of what's going on here. P9 and Anthony Sharps rounds up the top 10 as we double up here to go back green. Well, I don't know if there's too much to say about what caused that yellow, but do you think that there's signs that we might have a long green flag run at some point in this race queue?
Well, coming back to how we are now, I think there are a lot of cars out front who didn't take tires, and you're gonna have a lot of cars behind them that did. So right now, you're just gonna have to fight your way through, and hopefully, that speed differential of the guys that took tires and the guys that didn't won't cause more cautions. But I'm not putting any money down right now that we're gonna have a long green flag run here.
Well, another big update on the Josh Patterson clinching regular season championship. Another driver down, Kason Harnish, has retired from the session. So if 3 more drivers retire from the session, put the car in the garage, say they're done, Josh Patterson will clinch that regular season championship. So we're keeping an eye on that. And right now we're keeping an eye on that huge battle at the playoff cutoff. And right now, Justin Haley sitting P6. He's looking really good here as the rest of the playoff contenders. Nick Pena right here, P2. He's having himself a good run. He's trying to point his way in. Pace car pulls off, and they'll fire off. Nick Pena spins the tires a little bit. He comes down the track in front of Mulder, and it looks like Josh Patterson, I believe it was, didn't really get going, or maybe it was Aaron Giffen. Yeah, it was Giffen there in the 9, and that'll stack up the field a little bit here. And, wow, it'll be interesting to see fresh tires versus old tires. What are your thoughts on what might happen here, Q?
I think those fresh tires are going to be really valuable right now. We've seen these cars have a bit of an aero push all day long, getting really tight center of the corner. I think we're just going to see those guys with new tires be able to wrap that inside line a lot better.
And Ethan Harrison, look at the lead he has. You don't normally see this here in GGR. He's got about half a second on Nick Pena, as Pena in P2 holding off Aiden Oxidine right now on the 4 as Oxidine goes to make a move. First car on fresh tires is that 99 of Justin Haley. He's up into P4 as looks like some aggressive racing back here. Patterson, Workman, and Giffen all going after it here for P5 as Giffen's going to get up into the wall a little bit there. Workman's going to follow Patterson, and looks like both of them might get by Giffen here as Patterson arcs his corner. Giffen's going to let him go. Meanwhile, Pena, he has caught Ethan Harrison down the back straightaway, and he's tagged Aiden Oxidine and Justin Haley alongside with him here as we might have a 4-car battle shaping up shortly.
Yeah, so on that restart, we saw Nick Pena kind of spin his tires, not really get off the line very well, and just came down in front of Jay Mulder. Maybe Mulder should have stuck to broadcasting if he couldn't find a way to get around such a slow car, but, that's neither here nor there. But, hopefully Mulder can rebound from that mental lapse of fortitude and come back strong. But this is really going to shape up. We got Justin Haley, he's got the new tires, he's got the freshies, he's got the speed right now. I don't think it'll be too long before he's taking the lead.
Well, you mentioned Jay Mulder. Not really sure what he was doing, but he fell all the way back to 17th from P3 on that restart very quickly here as we're only a few laps in. And Aiden Oxidine, he's dropped back behind Haley and Patterson as early on it looks like the 99 and the 02 are the 2 strongest cars. No surprise there as Josh Patterson is pretty much the king of iRacing in these lands here in GGR. And of course Justin Haley, he kind of does this for a living. So both of these guys, of course, expected to be at the front. And right now, Haley trying to push Pena up front. Not sure if Haley knows that he's working with a fellow playoff contender, but of course, Haley is gaining a couple positions here right now on Dimitri Mundros and Jack Leslie. So overall, this is working out here. Nick Pena trying to make a late playoff push here as we are almost a fourth of the way through this one, coming to the line.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily that Justin's working with another playoff contender. He's just trying to find the best way to get around these two. I mean, we've seen him be really strong ripping that middle line and having a lot of speed there, but it seems now maybe he's going with Ethan Harrison, trying to get past. Yep, he gets past Nick Pena. Maybe he'll cover him off here. Nope, still side by side.
I noticed there, Haley, he got pretty much on the rear wing of Harrison, and Patterson followed Haley. Harrison is really arcing his corner right now, leading this thing as we see him moving top to bottom. It looks like he's reminiscent of Dale Earnhardt Jr. at a plate track, blocking both lanes here. As Patterson now, he's trying to figure out which lane to go as Haley's run is kind of stalled out here. And Aiden Oxidine is slowly reeling in the field alongside Ethan Workman and Aaron Giffen as Christian Visconti A little further back, he's got Blake Kennedy and Anthony Sharps in tow. That's the rest of your top 10 here. As up front, Patterson gets by Haley, and now he'll look to go make a run at the 77 as Haley has finally cleared Nick Pena for P3.
Yeah, Ethan had a really good chance to just kind of walk away with this race. I think him trying to block, though, and maybe the aggression levels behind where they were side by side for so long really just allowed that second pack to catch up to him. Maybe Ethan, in hindsight, Ethan could have probably like chilled out a bit and just kind of got some space between it. But that's really not how this race is developing, as we have multiple cars underneath the blanket right now.
Yeah, some might say you have 3 guys under a blanket, 3 guys left in a blanket. As Ethan Harrison, Patterson, and Haley work together. Patterson forces his way to the inside here, trying to get a run on Harrison. He's going to get there. He's at the left rear of the 77 machine, and we might have a lead change here. Patterson's actually going to wash up a little bit. He's going to have to get out of the gas. Caution is out. Aiden Oxidine in the wall. Looks like Visconti. No. Mason Suit. Looks like that might have been on him. We're going to pull up the work replay and check it out here, see if it was indeed on the 56. Looks like he was running by himself almost. And we might be a lap in the past again per ATVO. The usual with ATVO.
Giving the spectator some context.
Oh, yeah.
All about the context here.
He hits the apron on his own, hits the outside wall on his own, wrecks Dimitri Mundros, and just rides the outside wall as Mundros goes flipping, and then wrecks himself again. Oh, flips over Jay Mulder, and has a little bit of a network issue, and he's gone. Yeah.
Well, we've seen the apron be a hazard in all of GGR all season long, where these guys just kind of clip it.
We've seen the drivers be a hazard all season long here in GGR. As Mason Suit, no stranger to being known for the cause of the yellow flag here. As Patterson just spun himself on pit road.
Well, you'll have that in big time model
we
racing.
Wow. Josh Patterson.
Patterson always has speed, but we've seen time and time again this GGR season of him just making these almost mental mistakes.
I don't even know what that was. Oh, Christian Visconti netcodes through him. I don't even know what that was out of Patterson. It's back-to-back weeks we've had
Josh Patterson in.
Why
don't we talk?
Yeah, I agree. Let's bring Josh Patterson in here. Josh, you're in the Work TV booth, buddy. Not because you've clinched that regular season championship quite yet. We want to ask you about that little spin right there. Can you tell us what happened?
I tried to turn left, and the car said, "All right."
All right, cool, Josh. Well,
he tried to turn left, and it definitely turned left. But thank you for taking the time. Good luck rebounding from that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, Josh. Hopefully we'll see him here as regular season champion. Here's the big thing, though, folks. GGR all-time wins leader, Henry Clappert. He is P1 right now, staying it out. Jack Leslie, he's on that playoff cutoff. He's +8 above the cut. He is lining up P2 here. Haley stayed out. He's P3. And, yeah, Henry Clappert, he's leading this thing, folks. 34 monster car. Been a while since we've seen that 34 leading some laps here in GGR. Great to see the all-time wins leader here leading. Fortunately, we can't get an interview with him here. He doesn't understand technology very well, so he has a hard time connecting to the radio here. But well, Quentin, what is your thought here? Do you think Henry's got something in the bag for us here?
Well, I'm just running through this. Justin must have pitted if he came out behind Henry Clappert, because we saw Justin up front.
Yeah, Justin did pit with Harrison and Patterson. He just beat Harrison out.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. We're just gonna talk once again about the tires. Henry's got a lot of people on fresh tires behind him, so I don't really think we've seen Henry show speed with new tires and without new tires. So I think right now it's just gonna be a fight for survival.
Wow. I'm excited to see if Henry Clappert can put something here. Garrett White, he's taking that wave around as he's a couple laps down. And with Mason Suit doing Mason Suit things, 2 more drivers until Josh Patterson clinches that regular season championship. He will line up P17 right now on this restart, which is exactly where he needs to finish in order to clinch this championship. At the rate we're going, you think we're going to see him clinch this championship mid-race?
I would be very much surprised if Josh Patterson does not clinch this championship. I mean, the GGR races are usually a battle of attrition, and we're not even halfway through this race yet. We are very close to Josh Patterson clinching based off wreck cars. However, the potential right now with Henry Clappert and Jack Leslie lining up on the front row, there is huge implications that there will be another caution very shortly.
Yeah, well, Clapper and Leslie lining up on the front row. That's a dream front row here in GGR. That's a fan favorite front row here. I mean, who doesn't like Henry Clapper leading this race? I mean, he's in the running here for GGR most popular driver, and being in that 34 Monster Energy car, always iconic. Henry in a black and green car, usually with a Monster logo or two on it. Always number 34. I mean, you just can't get any better than this here. Him being up front. That's your
Yeah, and I
all-time
know
wins leader, folks.
Force India must be very happy to have one of their cars up front on the front row. I mean, I don't think it'll last very long, but any viewership you get on this broadcast is just millions of dollars worth of potential income from people seeing your brand.
Yeah. And if you're Justin Haley or Ethan Harrison, you're very intrigued to see what happens with the 34 and the 37
Scared,
here on this
not
restart.
intrigued, scared.
Words are subjective. Pace car pulls off. Henry Clapper immediately fires off, and he doesn't go through the gears. I'm not sure what's happening. Haley was getting a run, and then I don't know if Clapper lifted or what, but Henry Clapper leads here. He's got Haley behind him, and we'll see how aggressive the 99 is to get by the 34 here. Oh, Haley's going to the inside. He's not going to give Henry a chance to lead. Henry throws a block, moves to the middle lane here. Side by side, Haley and Clapper for the lead here, and it looks like Leslie's got to the inside. Harrison could not capitalize. Harrison tries to throw a block on Sharps. Can't quite clear him here. And Haley now blocking both lanes. Leslie and Clapper both on old tires. And that's going to stall out Ethan Harrison here as Leslie plows tight through 1 and 2. Oh.
Caution's back out real quick. That was really respectful out of Henry. He knew that Justin Haley was faster than him, just kind of gave him the bottom lane there. Didn't really put up much of a fight. We got multiple cars wrecked.
Yeah, right.
As
Martin.
I said, cautions are going to breed cautions all night.
He spun off exit of 4. Oh, Nick Pena. I'm not really sure what happened to Martin, but Nick Pena.
Yeah, let's bring in Nick Pena, see what he has to say about causing once again another caution. Nick Pena, this is the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
I'm dead. Well, yes, I do.
Yeah, just walk us through what happened there.
Dude, I went in the corner, and then I guess the car in front of me checked up, and it just broke loose, and everyone behind me plowed into me. So I don't know what happened. I'm completely lost on what just happened. I don't know.
Well, you said before the start of this race that you're probably going to be involved in a caution, and there you go. You were involved in a caution. Wishing you the best of luck for the rest of this race. Hopefully you can rebound.
We'll figure it out.
Good luck. That was Nick Pena. We appreciate him taking his time after, taking that trip in the ambulance back to pit road.
Yeah, as luckily, no harm, no foul, because these cars are virtual, and he gets a fast repair. So,
Justin Haley once again out in the lead, really strong. I hate to keep talking about him, but he is leading, so I feel like I am vindicated.
Well, Jack Leslie right now, he's putting up a good fight here. He gained all those points back that he had lost to Haley staying out, and now he's running P3. Do you think Jack Leslie has it in him to hold on to a playoff spot here?
We've seen Jack Leslie have a bit of speed. We've seen him be fast at points, just making some mental errors and really just taking himself out of contention. But maybe he went back with the Force India team and really just kind of worked on his mental fortitude, and maybe this will be the night where he can put in a clean, good run.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jack Leslie, he's actually, believe it or not, despite being plus 8, a bit of an underdog here to transfer to the next phase of the season in the playoffs. So, 37, proven the haters wrong so far. 36 laps into this thing, with Clapper and Haley. They're gonna line up on the front row here. Looks like neither of them will choose to pit. Of course, Haley's on the fresher tires, but Oh, actually, looks like Leslie might pull down a pit road. He does.
Yeah, I think
So,
he's just realizing he doesn't have the pace right now on those old tires, and it's usually better to take your tires earlier than it is later.
I mean, honestly, he might just also not want to be at the front of the field where a lot of chaos can happen. Um, Obviously, Leslie has a lot more to race for than Clapper. That explains why, despite being on the same strategy, Leslie would pit, Clapper wouldn't. But always good to see a mature decision of a driver like that who knows what they're truly racing for here in terms of points racing. So Leslie trying to get those fresher tires, and honestly, the fresher tires we've seen, they work really well here. So I mean, there's a good chance that maybe those fresher tires work out. Leslie gets some positions here, and if we get a long green flag run, we'll see how this pans out for him. But right now, we haven't quite seen that long green flag run yet out of these drivers. So time's taken to see if one pans out here. A little bit of a mid-race
Well,
update. You want to go ahead and do it, Q?
yeah, so we got 64 laps to go. We've seen 4 cautions, which really isn't all that many for a GGR race. 13 caution laps, still on the bottom end. We've had 8 lead changes. I think that just kind of speaks to the setup that Ethan Harrison brought. I know he was working hard at Kroger building this setup in the back room when he should have been working, but again, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, well, of course, Ethan Harrison. We found out he's a professional griller. A couple weeks ago, he grilled a steak in the Kroger parking lot. Took those skills to Martinsville Speedway, and instead of buying the simple $2 hot dogs, he decided to buy his own and grill them. So, Ethan Harrison, a man of many talents, grocery bagging, grilling in parking lots, and apparently GGR Indycar racing. As pace car light should come off this time by, and
Yeah, so if you're watching this broadcast, let's get a most popular driver of the day going. I want to see who your all's pick is to win the race, and give me a driver of the day vote. I'll read those out towards the end of this race, and I think, Brazen, we should, if you don't mind, of course, do a Henry cam for this restart here.
of course, never gonna say no to a Henry Cam. If you guys aren't familiar, our all-time wins leader, he gets a lot of treatment here, and so we are on board here with Henry Clapper for this restart here on the camera just above his helmet here, so we can see all of his head movements, his arm movements. As we see there, he doesn't hold the wheel straight when he's pacing, so he's really trying to keep some rubber getting shaved off on those tires at the whole time.
Yeah, I just want to thank Monster Energy for sponsoring this camera angle that we have here tonight. Henry, as we've said multiple times, the most winning driver, so it'll be exciting to see what he has to go through on this 1.5 mile banked oval.
All right, pace car lights off. We'll see what happens here. We'll see how Clapper times this restart here with Justin Haley.
Justin fires off really quickly. Henry just caught sleeping.
Henry does clear down in a second though, so it looks like Harrison was sleeping too. Great restart by Haley here. We're going to go through a whole lap here with Henry Clapper on top of this gyro cam here. As we see here, he is wrapping the bottom here. He's actually not even getting those left side tires on the paint like most guys are. He exits a little wider than everyone else. Now he's trying to follow Haley getting his draft, so he's going to enter in the middle lane here, and instead of arcing down to the bottom, he's going to wait a little bit to move to the bottom. He's going to run it for about half the corner, and then he'll move back up. He's actually getting a run on Haley here. We might stay on board here, see if he makes a move on Haley for the lead here.
Yeah, Henry's doing a really good job through these corners, just making sure he's getting that fresh air over his front wing, just making sure that he's not getting aero tight.
Oh, here we go, to
had
the top side.
He had a big run, but on those older tires, I'm not quite sure if you'll have enough. Yeah, he loses a lot running that top side.
Yeah, he tried to rip the fence there. Couldn't quite make it work, but always glad to have the Henry cam here.
Well, I can talk from first-hand experience how hard ripping the fence is. I definitely junked around the fence once at Charlotte, so no knocks on Henry for not being able to do it right there. Ethan Harrison back in the mix. That's not surprising. Passes Henry. Gets around him, slots in a second. Justin Haley still up front. Henry Clapper, though, right on Ethan Harrison's tail. As we have Anthony Sharps looking to maybe break this top 3. lots of wiggling. I don't know if that's the aero effect getting to him or
Ooh,
not,
yeah, I
but
don't know. Haley, he shot up the track to the top side there. And Clapper's trying to force his way in line in front of Anthony Sharps. Sharps, a name we haven't really seen in the top 5 so far, as pretty aggressive racing right now. Mulder looking to the inside of Anthony Sharps as
Jay
let's
Mulder looking to
oh,
redeem himself
Harrison
from
jumping to the
yeah,
top side here on Haley. Sorry.
all good.
Haley's going to side draft him up towards the outside wall there. Let's see how Harrison can work the top side here. Clapper tries to move up, sees Sharps up there. We're 2 by 2 here, and Harrison's actually getting a good run. I think the thing that made Clapper mess up that Harrison's able to do better is Clapper tried to run up on the fence, quite literally. He was right sides on the wall, whereas Harrison, he's doing a lot of side drafting. And it looks like Haley knows that Harrison's a little bit just better in general at this than Clapper because he's kind of moving up the track a little bit to side draft. And a guy entering the mix, a multi-time winner here, he's locked into the playoffs. He's a temporary broadcaster. Never mind.
In the grass.
Josh
Caution is
Patterson,
out.
maybe? Garrett White. Yeah, it's Garrett
That's
White.
rough for Garrett White. He had he was running really good at Gateway until some shenanigans happened on the restarts that really
He
kept
was
him from
running
ever
really good
having a
here tonight
chance.
as well. I
Yeah,
remember
running
he was
really
leading
good, and then
until...
just as we saw earlier, just hit that car that was kind of stopped on the back. Oh, just an innocent victim, Garrett White. That's
of Hunter
unfortunate.
Fox and Blake Kennedy. That sucks for those guys. Kennedy's been up towards the front a little bit as well. Let's go
Damage on
see.
Garrett's car, not too bad though. He might be able to fix it with some optionals if we get a couple more cautions. I don't know if it's ever going to be as fast to run up in the top 5, but his night's not over.
There's Kennedy. Let's see what happened. Oh, Hunter Fox just washed up, clipped Kennedy, and up and over Kennedy went. Let's see if he ended up back on his wheels. He does. Maybe he can drive
Nice
that
little
thing back.
pirouette.
Yeah. Style points there for Kennedy.
Yeah, if this was the Olympics, I'd probably give him like a 9.5. Obviously, that 0.5 is for wrecking your car. That's why you lost that. But really good dance performance there. Hopefully, he'll place at the Summer Olympics.
Interesting to note here. First car down pit road is Anthony Sharps. Henry Clapper stays out again. He's spent 29 laps on this stint here. The guys in front of him, for reference, top 3, 16 laps on their stints, as well as Visconti. And then 10 laps on their stints, Ryan Martin, Ryan Came, Jack Leslie. So, interesting mix of pit strategies here, and I don't know what the fuel run is here exactly, but I'm interested to see if Clapper has enough to make it all the way, or if he just knows this is GGR and we're inevitably going to have at least 3 more cautions.
Yeah, Henry Clappert's on a lot older tires, but he really hasn't been losing all that much time. I think that draft is really keeping in contention. I'm worried, however, that there might be a bit of a huge fall off. Those tires might just completely go away instead of being a gradual change.
Well, Ethan Harrison and all that mess took the lead from Haley, and as we mentioned, Harrison, he grills in parking lots, he bags groceries at Kroger, he runs and races here in GGR IndyCar Series, bit of a jack of all trades, and here in the regular season finale, Harrison has seen a very big uptick here in GGR in terms of car count and somewhat racing quality, as they used to run the Legacy Pro Mazdas. We did broadcast the Indianapolis 100, I believe it was, or 100 or 200 that they ran in the Pro Mazdas in Season 2. And that was GGR's first taste of broadcasting here on YouTube, and ultimately series grew this year. Q and I have hopped on board for this season, of course, with a little bit of temporary work from Mulder and Tyson Gifford over at Limeade Media. And ultimately, Harrison, great job on him, finally getting the growth for the series that he's longed for. And congratulations to Ethan on that, as he dawns on a regular season here in Season 3 and hopes to open the playoffs with open arms, as I know usually with leagues, when the playoffs hit around, car count kind of dims down a little bit. Those guys who, even if they didn't have a chance to make the playoffs in the regular season finale, they showed up for that race because, well, I don't know, it's just mentality. But once playoffs come, they're like, I don't have a chance to championship, I don't race. So hopefully Harrison can keep the car count steady here, and ultimately season ends pretty well.
One car we are missing here tonight is the 04 of Paul Granada. Just want to reach out to him and, give him some support, buddy. We're always here for you. We hope things get better. And yeah, it's really sad to not see him here tonight, but we hope everything is okay.
Yeah, Granada is season regular here in GGR, and unfortunately couldn't be here tonight due to personal circumstances. So these guys really trying to put on a show here without some key guys as pace car lights go off. Harrison and Haley will take to the front row here. Mulder and Visconti row 2. And
Yeah, so we've seen that outside line be really strong. I think that middle groove might be the preferred line. So if Justin can get a really good restart here, I think he actually would prefer to be on the top side here.
we'll find out. Visconti up in a P4, a guy we haven't really seen. And pretty interesting name to note. Ryan Kame is P5. Remember what happened last time we saw Ryan Kame in the top 5?
Do you think he's taking tires at all tonight?
Honestly, tires feel, I don't know what he's taking. 21's always got his own strategy going here.
Oh, we're approaching lap 49. Do we have a really quick championship update? How many cars have we lost out of this race?
Well, so far, Josh Patterson, believe it or not, still has yet to clinch. Very, very close to it, though, as we only need about 2 more cars. Excuse me for that. Yeah, we only need about 2 more cars to retire here. 1 more car, excuse me, as Anoxidine officially retires. So Nick Pena, 2 laps down in 18th. So far, looks like Patterson is on track to clinch the championship here. As pace car's off, Harrison fires off. Anthony Sharps gets a little sideways there on the restart. Oh, we got a car spinning. It's Carter.
Green is still out. No caution yet. Will he get it back going?
He was
Maybe
off the track.
pulling it down a pit lane. Yeah, we're gonna stay green here. Really good out of the race control to realize that wasn't caution worthy.
Yeah, just a single car spin, unfortunately. That's something that race control did talk about with these restarts. They really try to put it in the drivers' heads. Don't just slam that throttle down on these restarts. You have to actually have a little bit of talent to make it through these. And Harrison, he had a pretty decent gap there for a moment, but Justin Haley closing in here on Harrison as that 99's been up front all day long, and he's definitely showing he's going to be a huge factor for the championship once the playoffs roll around. As we got a slow car on the bottom, that was Jack Leslie. Not a good sign out of the 37. He's got some right front damage and some rear wing damage too. This is huge for the playoffs. He was +8 on the cutoff to Mundros. Pena Suit. Actually, Suit's out of it now that he retired from the race, but that's huge for Justin Haley, who just took the lead here.
Yeah, Jay Mulder slots in a second. Really strong out of him. We saw him make some mistakes here tonight. Drop back to 17th at one point. But he seemed to rebound. We got 3 cars left under a blanket right now, but it's really not... I'm not seeing a whole lot of aggression out of these 3 guys tonight.
Yeah, so far they're keeping it very clean, and right now it's a pretty big 3-car breakaway as Christian Visconti, not sure what happened to him. He is struggling here, though, as Josh Patterson will get by the 80 there. And obviously this is Visconti's first race here in these Indycars, so he's probably just trying to keep it patient for now, try not to cause any problems, although he is getting passed by Ryan Kame, so at any moment here I'd expect the 80 to turn on the jets and get back going here.
Well, he also just doesn't have his normal oval spotter up in the spotter stand tonight, so that might be playing a bit into his mental mindset right now, just really not confident in himself.
Yeah, as Harrison, he's kind of losing ground to Mulder and Haley here as the top 2. Oh, Haley with a little bit of a network issue here. Past halfway in this thing, and I'd be worried about my what I'm seeing in my mirror here if I'm the 77 or even the 51 and 99. The 02 of Josh Patterson is once again climbing through the field. He's done it all night, and he's up to P4, and it looks like they've got a battle going on here with Harrison to the inside of Mulder. So, imagine how this one's going to shape up here as we come to lap 55 of 100.
Yeah, it looked like they thought about fighting for that second spot and then quickly just realized they needed to, single file it up before Josh Patterson just caught him in a hurry. I think that was really smart out of those 3 guys because we've just seen Josh drive from the back to the front pretty much all season.
And unfortunately for these guys, Josh Patterson is bringing along Ryan Kame in the 21, as Kame has actually had himself a good night here so far. And yellow flag is out. Looks like it's Visconti up and over the pit wall. Let's go find out what happened to Christian here. Oh, okay.
He must have thought it was a rod car and tried to
Oh,
do a blowover.
oh.
No, a little bit of contact,
He's
actually.
having a lot of network issue, and it looks like Hunter Fox washed up into him. And up and over the pit barrels, over the wall. I mean, he half landed it. Does he get style points for that one?
Yeah, I'd say if we were once again doing Olympic dancing or jumping, that'd be like an 8.5. He really didn't stick the landing, kind of got caught up there and had to reset. So 8.5 for Christian Visconti.
And under this caution, we have pretty big news, folks. Driver of the O2, Josh Patterson. We now have 17 cars left in the race. Garrett A. White has pulled it into the garage. We are going to bring Josh Patterson in here. He has officially clinched, he's officially clinched the regular season championship. Josh Patterson, you're in the Work TV booth. You have a copy, bud.
I do.
Well, 17 was the target goal here. You had to finish 17th or higher. We've just gotten word that Garrett A. White has pulled it into the garage, making it official that only 17 cars will finish this race at this time. So that means for you, big news. You've clinched the regular season championship, Josh. How do you feel?
I feel like I had a 61-point lead coming in, and I had it clinched by 10 points no matter if I race or not. But
Yeah,
I
you
feel pretty
didn't.
good about it. We dominated this season, the regular season at least, looking to transfer that momentum into the playoffs.
Is there any driver that you might be worried about here?
Paul Granada, he's not really in the playoffs. I'm just worried about him because he's a wrecking ball.
Josh, what does clinching this regular season championship mean to you?
It means the world. The payout from this is going to help feed my family. We're really running low on budget recently. Just with Henry stuck in my door, he keeps trying to raid my pantry because he's homeless. So we got to feed him, feed the less fortunate out there, and it's taken a toll on me and my family. So this regular season dub really helps out, and hopefully can feed us for the next week.
Well, Ethan Harrison is actually not paying anybody anything, so unfortunately for you, you're still going to have to be feeding Henry table scraps. Q, do you have anything else you want to add before we let Josh go?
Yeah, Josh, we saw you kind of drive from the rear there, but you were also bringing Ryan Kane with you. You and Ryan Kane have a bit of a history going back to Indianapolis. What is your fear with Ryan having such a strong run here tonight, if any?
I'm not really fearful of him having a run. I'm more fearful of him looking at my rear end. I know he likes.
All right, Josh, we are going to call it. We are going to.
I would like to apologize for.
He had a little bit of a radio issue there. Discussing Ryan Kame. He's not a big fan of Ryan Kame, so we unfortunately can't.
Regular season champion, Josh Patterson. Thank
Yeah.
you for taking your time. Good luck the rest of the night.
And
new leader.
Yeah, Aaron Giffen. First time we've seen him lead so far in this one. And just to give you guys a bit of a heads up here, we're trying to pull it up here real quick. While we're under yellow, the point standings here, I'll read them off for you guys because once again, we don't have an infographic for it. Ethan doesn't pay me enough to code it in.
He pays you?
Happens.
I'm not getting paid.
So your point standings here in Season 3 of the GGR Oregon Diecast IndyCar Series, of course, Josh Patterson just clinched the regular season championship despite him thinking he did it before the race started. Ethan Workman, he's locked himself in. He's P2 in points. Blake Kennedy is P3 in points. He's also locked himself in. Jay Moeller, P4. Anthony Sharp's 5th. Ethan Harrison, 6th. Aiden Oxidine, 7th. All of those drivers that I just named have clinched their way into the playoffs here. And Mason Suit officially eliminated from the from contention of making the playoffs. And Nick Pena, he's on the way of possibly being there too, which would mean Justin Haley, Jack Leslie, and Dimitri Mundros would all clinch final playoff spots. And that's pretty interesting. We've got a lot of intensity rising here in the regular season finale. Apparently the stream has been rated by bots, so that's fun to see.
We have one viewer asking if we can interview Kaz Gralla. Kaz Gralla is not racing tonight. I don't know if he had brake issues trying to get home or maybe just ran out of talent behind the wheel of his race car once again. But sorry for all those Kaz Gralla fans.
Yeah. I hear he's having a good time, just not trying to punch anything here during the NASCAR off season, as he's just trying to lay back and relax for the off season, and we'll see what Kaz has in store. Fortunately,
Yeah,
I know GGR
really
means a lot to him, so.
It just didn't want to punch that championship run.
Yeah. I don't know.
Lights are out on the pace car. We are double file here, getting ready to go green. I think Brazen's going to take us back on the play-by-play.
Yeah, Aaron Giffen leading this thing pretty intriguingly here, but he's having some network issues, as has Justin Haley periodically throughout this one. So we got some blinkers on the front row here. We'll see what happens. The 9 and the 99. Aaron Giffen fires off on his first restart leading here in the GGR Oregon Diecast IndyCar Series. And if you don't know, Aaron Giffen, he is Oregon Diecast, so make sure you go check him out on Instagram. He is the title sponsor at Oregon Diecast on Instagram here. As Jay Mulder took P2 away from Justin Haley, and I'm not sure how that'll work with Haley and Mulder because I don't think Haley is going to want to sit behind the 51 there. Ethan Harrison apparently doesn't want to sit behind him because he's already trying to work the middle here through 3 and 4.
Yeah, we've seen people with the last name of Haley really get into the rear end of Jay Mulder, taking him out, especially here at Charlotte. Jay Mulder just can't ever seem to finish that last lap, but really calm right now. Got one car ripping the fence. We saw Henry Clapper do that earlier. It didn't really work out for him. It didn't work out for that driver.
Yeah, that was Aaron Giffen. He's dropping back here, and they're side by side for the lead. Haley and Mulder through 3 and 4. As you mentioned, it's dark horse racing thing. If you're behind Jay Mulder, he's just not going to make it through turns 3 and 4. So if you're Jay Mulder, you're watching out right now for that 99 because you know that history tends to repeat itself sometimes. Josh Patterson up into P3 here. Remember, he just clinched that regular season championship, so he probably doesn't care to wreck himself here, and he certainly doesn't. Going on the apron, making it 3 wide. He forces Haley to lift and Mulder to lift here, as that'll screw Haley a little bit, force him out, and ultimately Josh Patterson now leading this race 63 of 100.
Yeah, Justin Haley really could have kind of pinched down on Jay Mulder a bit, but I think he was just trying to points race, as we talked about earlier in this broadcast, just making sure you can bring that car home clean and somewhat relatively close to the front of the field here. Josh Patterson out front though, no one's surprised by that. It started from the rear, came to the front, wrecked it on pit lane, went to the back again, and back out front. Not surprised by that at all, are we?
No, not at all. As and battling here for second, really good. Mulder, he's being very defensive, holding his ground. Haley throws a pretty quick lock on Ryan Martin there in the 09 as Anthony Sharps, he's working the top side here. Looks like he might be the next guy to get trained here on the top side as he's currently side by side with Mulder. Ethan Harrison, he's trying to take a shot at Josh Patterson here. Patterson threw a little bit of a block. Harrison trying to get some air over the right front of that wing. Now he's looking low. Now he's looking back high. Patterson and Harrison going at it here for the lead.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of contact there between those two. Keep it straight. Doesn't look like they have that much front damage, if any. Josh Patterson's still in the lead, though. But Ethan Harrison not cutting him any breaks.
Yeah, and Harrison finally got to the outside of Patterson. The blocking didn't work. Sharps actually moves up to the top side with Harrison. That's opening the door for Mulder to stay to the inside here. Harrison now tries to go back to the inside of Patterson. He's trying to work it here. Patterson goes to the top side to block Sharps, comes back down, blocks Harrison, and Josh Patterson now doing what Ethan Harrison was earlier, and that is just blocking all the lanes. As they come off of 4, it is a lot of guys left in a blanket here, 67 of 100 complete.
Really seems like the intensity has ratcheted up a bit. We got a lot of guys pushing really hard right now. Justin Haley kind of smack dab in the middle of this pack. I only bring him up because he is fighting for that last spot in the playoffs.
And right now, things are looking good for Haley as ultimately, I mean, you finish P4 ahead of all the other guys you're supposed to be racing against. Pretty good chance you're going to point your way into the playoffs here. And of course, all these guys in the top 6 are locked into the playoffs. We could have a couple spoilers here. Ryan Martin and Henrik Clapper, who is fighting with Dimitri Mundros right now. And Mundros is actually a lap down, so I can't imagine Clapper is actually too happy about the way he's being raced right now. As Mundros gets the wall a little bit there, and this is kind of something interesting to note here. Mundros is trying to get that lap back. Remember, he's one of the guys fighting for a playoff spot. Actually, Nick Pena has retired from the race, so it's official. Your playoff grid is actually set right now. So that's kind of big news. It actually just kind of matters about what seed you're going to enter the playoffs in. And right now, Haley, he's definitely ahead of Mundros and Leslie in terms of seeding. So we'll see how all this plays out. But ultimately, good job to these guys. It looks like we have our 10 playoff drivers that we'll discuss post-race.
Kind of see these two break away from the rest of the pack. Really, really strong cars out of them tonight. That setup must be really working for him. Justin Haley, though, kind of closing back in. As these two go side by side, that's just going to help those cars behind them get back closer to their rear wings.
Patterson just let Sharps go right there. And now he's going back to the inside, crossing him over here. And we're going to have a little bit of a race for this one here. Let's see how this one pans out. Patterson clears Sharps. We'll see. Sharps lifted a little bit to try to get back to the inside. It didn't quite work out there. And we've got a pretty big hornet's nest here. Haley, Workman, Mulder, all fighting for P4 here, while the top three, well, they're all fighting for the lead here as Ethan Harrison has gotten back to the rear wing of Anthony Sharps. And don't look now, but Dimitri Mundros a lap down, 2 laps down actually. He is looking to get back on the lead lap. He's only got 6 more cars to pass until he gets there. So we'll see if Mundros can get his laps back here while these guys are all fighting for the win.
Yeah, a lot of aggressive driving right now. I'm not really surprised as we just keep clicking off laps, getting closer to that finish. But with those 10 spots being set this early in the race, I think that's only going to help these fans witness a great show, as the aggression level is just going to be off the charts for the rest of this race.
Yeah, and Ethan Harrison now up into P2. Can the 77 piece this together and get the win here tonight at Charlotte? Harrison, of course, a strong competitor. We've mentioned him time and time again. Race director, grocery bagger, all of the above. And ultimately,
I know a lot of Ethan fans up in the watching our broadcast are really rooting for that 77 car. It would mean a lot to him to get this win. I know it really doesn't pay all that much. Probably wouldn't stop him from working at Kroger, but it would still be a pretty emotional victory for him, don't you think?
I think so, yeah, especially trying to carry momentum into the playoffs. You definitely want to try to get a win here, as the championship run means everything. And ultimately, right now you're not focused on winning. You're already locked into the playoffs. The main goal of the regular season is to try to be one of those 10 drivers to get a playoff spot. And then once the playoffs start, that's when things really heat up. That's when you have to be on your A game. And for a driver like Josh Patterson, who's been on his A game all season long, it's very reminiscent of Kyle Larson this season, you know. I mean, 9 wins in the NASCAR Cup Series in real life. Now you have Patterson up here. He's got 3 wins on the season here. He clinched the regular season championship before the race even ended. Harrison, obviously, more of like a Denny Hamlin. Doesn't have any wins coming into the playoffs, so just trying to get something there to make a move, make a mark on the series. As side by side here, Patterson slides up the track. Harrison hangs on his right rear. Side drafting. Harrison's actually going to lead the lap here. 78 of 100. Actually kind of fitting that lap 77 was led by the 77 car, don't you think?
It's irony. I'm just kind of looking at the, past this 3-car pack we got right now. Just to note, Justin Haley kind of falling back a bit, passed by Ethan Workman. I don't know if he's struggling with those tires, maybe burned him off too quickly, but he's just not had the speed he's had all night right now.
That moves Dimitri Mundros. He is side by side right now with P5. He is trying to get his lap back here. It's a pretty impressive run by him.
Yeah, having a bit of a green flag stretch here. I'm very happy that we're getting some good racing in, and we've seen these guys fight all season long, and that's kind of led us to a lot of cautions, but these guys are showing a lot of patience and maturity right now, just clicking off these laps.
And as these laps go by faster and faster, it seems, I mean, these are Indycars after all. These things clock laps faster than pretty much anything else that races here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And Ethan Harrison, we saw him attempt to move to the outside on Patterson, backed it off for now. Could Harrison be trying to save his tires up a little bit for a good run at Patterson? Do you think he'll be aggressive for the win here as the laps trickle down a little bit?
Yeah, I think right now Ethan's just kind of settled into that second spot. I really do feel like in these Indy cars, being second is an advantage, especially on the last lap. Just you're able to play that draft a lot more, and you have a lot more offensive options than the lead car has defensive.
This will change a lot. Aaron Giffen struggling here, spinning down to the inside wall. We'll see if he wheels it back to pit road. Looks like he's going to take a tow. I'll probably end the 9 cars night here.
Well, let's bring in Justin Haley and see what he has to say about clinching that spot in the playoffs. Justin Haley, this is the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
So you have clinched your spot in the playoffs with some of these drivers destroying their cars here tonight. How do you feel about this is your first full GGR season, and this is going to be your first time in the GGR playoffs? How does that feel for you?
Yeah, it's been great. Today's race was looking good for us, but then I haven't taken tires in that long run there. The tires just went away from me, so I'm gonna put 4 fresh sticker tires on this thing. Put some fuel in it. I know I'm gonna lose some track position here with about 18 to go, but that's gonna be okay. We're gonna fight back. There's sure to be a lot more wrecks. So glad that I clinched my spot in the playoffs. So that's really cool. It's what I wanted to do. We're playoff racing, and what we did.
Justin, how do you feel about some of your competitors that you'll be fighting for this championship with? I mean, you've got guys like Jay Mulder, Aiden Oxidine, Jack Leslie, Dimitri Mundros. How do you feel about some of these guys? Do you feel like you stand a chance against them?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only person I'm really worried about is Paul, and he's not in the playoffs. He's just a threat when he's out there. So, oh, I'm too far right actually in the pits here, boys and girls. So I'm gonna do a quick adjustment. There we are. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna be restarting last, and that's gonna be okay. So, thanks to Peach Vibe for sponsoring me, and we're off to the races.
Yeah, so last question, Justin. If you're running second and you have a car in front of you into 3 and 4 on that final lap, what do you think it's going to take to win that race?
Specifically, Jay
Well,
Mulder.
if I haven't learned anything tonight, it is that you do not want to be in the lead. So, Ethan Harrison, he's throwing some crazy blocks. Josh, always fast. So, we're just gonna keep chipping away at it here, see what we got, and surely it's gonna be an exciting last about 15 laps here when we go green.
Well, if there's a last lap wreck, the last of the late breakers might not break for it. He's going to go for the win here after knowing he's clinched his playoff spot. Q, you have any final words?
No, good luck the rest of the night and hope to see you on that podium.
Oh, I'll need it.
Thank you to Justin Haley for taking your time during this eventful race to come and talk with us.
Yep, as good on him, clinching a playoff spot here, knowing he's one of the 10 drivers, knowing all the 10 drivers he'll be facing here for the championship. So great on the driver of the 99 here. Little mid-race update. 18 laps left in this one. 7 caution flags have waved here. We spent 24 laps under yellow. We've had 16 lead changes, so a fairly healthy amount here as laps wind down. And Josh Patterson first place. Ethan Harrison, though, don't count him out. That 77, he is in second place. The fans seem to love that 77. And, man, Jay Mulder, P3 lining up. We know Jay Mulder, he's looking to get something going here. He's got some things to look forward to post-race. He's got a blonde named Morgan to go talk to. Of course, he's not the only one with a blonde named Morgan to go talk to, but he's hoping to have one to talk to after the race here. And Ethan Workman, P4. I don't know what he's hoping for after the race. Probably go to bed. Late night there in Cleveland, Ohio. Ryan Martin, P5, a little bit of an underdog here. He is he's up there on the GGR all-time wins list. He is second on that list, just behind the man himself, Henry Clapper. Christian Visconti, the Limeade Media house driver here in the 80 car. He's lined up P6. Ryan Kame, 7th. And we heard from Josh Patterson a little bit on him before some radio communications unfortunately cost us the chance to hear what he was talking about Ryan Kame. I'm sure it was positive things. Justin Haley, who we just talked about clinching that playoff spot, being the 10th and final driver to do so. He is lining up P8, and Blake Kennedy 9th. Jaden Carter looks like he'll round out the top 10. Maybe not. He's pulling into pit road, so that'll be Anthony Sharps rounding out the top 10. As looks like we have Aaron Giffen a lap down, Jack Leslie 2 down, Dimitri Mundros 3 down, and Henry Clapper is 4 laps down here. Pace car lights are out. We're doubling up. What do you think is going to happen here, Q? 15 laps to go when we go green. Q. Quentin. Alright. Apparently Quentin is having some communication issues here.
I think there will be absolute devastation, Brazen. Sorry, my mic kind of cut out there. But it's all good. I am back, having a good time. Looking forward to the rest of this race. I really hope these drivers can give those fans a banger of a show.
Yeah, well, Josh Patterson, Ethan Harrison, Jay Mulder, Ethan Workman, and you know what those top 4 have in common? Outlaw Racing and Nova Sim Racing, that rivalry we've been talking about the entire season. They are 2x2. 6th place, Christian Visconti, also in Outlaw Racing. Blake Kennedy, 9th. So, going to be a good fight here to the end. We'll see if Patterson and Mulder can hold off the Outlaw Racing crew. Of course, Ethan Harrison looks to be a fan favorite here, and he looks like he's got the best shot to win this thing. So, we'll see if the fans cheer for that Outlaw Racing 77. The Kroger man himself, as the cars will fire off for the restart here. Patterson fires off well. Looks like he'll leave the field behind as Workman got a really good restart. Couldn't quite do anything, hanging on Harrison's rear wing, and unfortunately Harrison didn't fire off very well. He's probably going to get passed here by Mulder and Workman. Justin Haley's already up in a P5 almost, side by side with Ryan Martin for it.
Yeah, Justin had a really good restart. Had to kind of dip out of line there. I think he was trying to avoid a wreck. I don't know if the race officials have anything to say about that. Probably not, but really good restart. I just, everyone that we see out front's got fresh tires, so it's going to be really hard for these guys to pass.
Yeah, and Dimitri Mundros somehow lost 2 laps, so despite that racing hard to get back on the lead lap, couldn't quite make anything of it. As the race winds down, Mulder looked to make a move on his teammate, jumped to the outside. It didn't quite work out. Now Ethan Workman going to the inside line here. He's got to win this season. Took it at Homestead over his teammate Ethan Harrison as Workman and Mulder side by side. Workman on the rear wing of Patterson. What does he do here to try to shake the 0-2 from P1? Ethan Harrison lurking back there in P4 as Workman tries to work the bottom here to get by Josh Patterson. Oh, there it is. He forced Josh Patterson up the racetrack here. We're going to have a good battle here for the lead here with 12 laps to go this time by.
We heard Justin talk about it. You really don't want to be in that lead just because you don't have that draft to work with, not many defensive options. I think Ethan Workman might have won a bit too early. I think he's just going to be a sitting duck for the rest of those guys behind him.
Well, he almost didn't have his teammate behind him for a second. Mulder went down to throw a block. Patterson fighting really hard, side drafting on the top side. Workman, he's going to get a little bit of a run through the corner. We'll see what happens with Patterson off the corner. He's got a little bit better help right now on Mulder. Mulder is really staying closer to the rear wing of Patterson. Ethan Harrison has to get up there and help his teammate Ethan Workman here as these laps wind down if they want to secure an Outlaw Racing victory. And Justin Haley, P5, he is catching this pack of 4. We are going to have a barn burner here to finish off the regular season here in the Edmund Fitzgerald Memoriam 150 here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway here in the GGR Oregon Diecast IndyCar Series.
Yeah, Justin Haley's caught up to that pack of 4. It's going to be about a 5-car race, I would believe, for these. Remember the laps, a lot of aggression. I'm not counting out a caution, though. I think we've seen these guys kind of lose control of the car.
Oh, there it is. Contact with Patterson. What a save by the
Patterson.
0-2. Mulder's in the wall, though.
Good save by Josh Patterson to keep it going. That's just going to give Justin Haley behind him, though, a chance to pass.
That's going to give more than Justin Haley a chance. That's going to give Visconti, Sharps, Martin, Kame. That's going to give all these guys a chance to run for the lead here. And I'm not sure what happened there with Patterson and Workman. It all happened a little too fast. Couldn't tell if Patterson side drafted too hard. Couldn't tell if Workman washed up. All I know is Outlaw Racing 1-2, Mulder 3rd, Patterson retained 4th, Haley still running 5th here. And now Ethan Harrison, he goes to the top side on Ethan Workman. Does Workman have front end damage that will impede him from finishing this race in P1? We'll find out here as they go through turns 1 and 2 and they exit down the back straightaway side by side for the lead.
You had to see Josh Patterson. He had to dip below the line.
Oh, aggressive move. Patterson forces Mulder up and Ethan Harrison. Ethan Harrison's on the wall.
Caution's out. There it is.
He'll lock it down so he doesn't wreck anymore. Unfortunately, steering is damaged, so he is struggling here. He's going to have to wheel that thing in a pit road. I kind of saw it happening.
Well, you can't race that aggressively and not expect to have a caution come out. Unfortunate. I think Ethan Harrison was a bit of an innocent bystander there. Just kind of got door slammed. Josh Patterson below the blue line.
Yeah, Patterson going below the blue line. Goes in there 3 wide. And honestly, it wasn't much of what Patterson did. I want to get just some cockpit views here and see what may have happened with Jay Mulder in the 51 to see maybe from his point of view here down the back straightaway. Yeah, Mulder...
Just pinched down in the middle there. I really don't feel like Jay Mulder had anywhere to go.
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure if that is the fault of any of those drivers, really. It almost looked like a racing deal here. Trying to get a look here from a far chase camera of the 77. Let's see here. So this was down the back straightaway a lap ago. I don't know why it put me back a lap, but
Just
there we
I
go.
love the context.
Oh yeah, we love ATVO. So oh yeah,
Jay Mulder came up into him.
Yeah,
That far
Ethan and
chase
Jay,
kind of gives
yeah.
a new perspective. Ethan Harrison. I know a lot of the fans that are watching, they're mostly Ethan Harrison fans. Maybe they work at Kroger with him, or just they like the good guy that he is. But they're gonna be devastated with that bit of contact and damage to his car.
Yeah, there might be riots in front of the 51 pit stall here momentarily from fellow Kroger workers, and so we'll see what happens here with Ethan Harrison and Jay Mulder. Potentially a rivalry heading into the playoffs, two championship contenders. Meanwhile, another interesting thing that brewed. Ethan Workman and Josh Patterson. Of course, we saw a little bit of contact there. Patterson with an excellent save in 3 and 4, but ultimately dropped him a couple positions, specifically from the lead. And O2's back behind Ethan Workman. What do you think the call is here for Patterson? You think he's going to wait till that last lap and put the old Quentin Haley on a 13 car here?
Well, I know for sure they're not going to take tires. We've seen it be pretty hard all race long to get past these cars. I think they get stalled out. They get a good run, and then it just really dies out when you get to the rear wing. However, Josh Patterson, we've seen him be aggressive. We've also seen him make some mistakes. We don't know about that damage that maybe Ethan Workman and Josh Patterson had to their cars after that contact. Justin Haley sitting in third. I think he's probably got the real good catbird seat right now. I mean, I want to flashback to what was that race? Canadian Motor Tires.
Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
My English is really falling apart right now. When Noah Gregson wrecked Todd Gilliland and Justin Haley came by for the win, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that happen tonight. However, Josh Patterson, I think he has a skill set, and I think he has the speed here tonight to clinch this victory.
You're saying Haley might be seeing some deja vu here in the virtual world. Meanwhile, as I've been showing here, Ethan Harrison, that wreck puts him back to P11, and with 5 laps to go, I mean, in natural GGR fashion, there is completely a chance that we do have another yellow or 2 or 3 or 5. But ultimately, Harrison has a lot of ground to make up here, and he's definitely probably going to be banking on a few yellows, specifically from the guys in front of him, not behind him. As Workman leading here, obviously we've seen he can get it done. He did it at Homestead. Patterson, 3 wins on the season. He won Spa. I don't remember what else he won, but he won 2 other races. Justin Haley, obviously P3, hasn't won a GGR race yet. He's come close several times.
I saw to that at
specifically
Gateway.
Yeah, Quentin Haley made sure that Justin Haley's I can't win GGR streak extended a week at Gateway, as Quentin decided to say, hey, even though I'm in the broadcast booth and you're racing for something, I don't care.
That's the type of guy I am.
Yeah. Justin's lucky to have you as a brother here on iRacing in terms of championship
Christian
racing.
Visconti, though, this is his first GGR race. He's up into, I think, 4th or 5th.
Yeah, 5th place
Really
here.
strong run from in tonight.
Yeah, Visconti, he's been kind of off and on. We saw him flip over the interior pit wall there. So
I believe he bought a computer and sim rig specifically for GGR. He already had one, but he wasn't able to make these races. So that just shows the commitment and dedication to this series for guys that aren't racing but want to be a part of this excellent show.
Yeah, looks like if you check chat here, Ethan Harrison's been promised a hug on Thursday to make up for the fact that he's fallen back behind Henry Clappert here. Of course, it's always a stressful situation when you're starting behind the driver of the 34.
As much as I would love a Henry cam, he is just too far back for it to make sense with only 3 laps to go here.
I mean, we'd still get a good look here of him pacing.
Doing a really good job not wrecking under caution.
Yeah, I mean, he's given a little bit of a gap here. Oh, we're gassing it now. Might hit Jay Mulder. It is 3 and 4, so network issue.
We did see Henry Clappert upset some prominent public figures though at K1 Speed this week. So
yeah, sorry for that. Turn off the Henry cam. Does some.
The stream was starting soon, and it has started.
Thanks, bud. Ethan Workman fires off here. Josh Patterson cuts off Justin Haley. I can't imagine Haley's reaction to that one. Patterson just decided to take the line away. As Christian Visconti didn't really fire off, and we have a top 4 breakaway here. Workman might be a little too far out front here with 3 laps to go in this one.
We've seen these guys catch up from super far behind just with that draft. I think within the next lap, yeah, especially out of 3 and 4 year, these guys are going to be under a blanket.
Well, right now, Patterson already looking to the inside. Workman blocks him down to the apron, and that's going to be the key here, is playing defense. Workman's pretty much in the grass. Patterson trying to go to the apron. Workman, he knows how to play defense here, and he's going to be working for it here. The apron is not usable here. You may not utilize it for passing, only for, avoiding wrecks or things like that. So we'll see how aggressive they get here. Coming to the white flag, this time off of turn 4.
I really think we're gearing up here for a 2018 Mosport finish. I'm not quite sure Josh Patterson, Ethan Workman are going to hang on to it.
Oh, they are on the apron here. Patterson trying to move Workman up the racetrack. Is Justin Haley in striking distance for his first career GGR win? Is anybody else behind them in striking distance? Through 3 and 4, will Patterson be able to make the move off of exit here? He moves up to the middle lane. Does he have enough of a run? Haley's got a run on the top side. Boxes Patterson in. It's not going to be enough. Close finish at the line for second. Workman goes around, but ultimately, the driver of the 13 will win this race. Several cars are not going to be making it to the next week here in the GGR Indycar series. But ultimately, what a win for the driver of the 13. Christian Visconti's in the fence. Ultimately, though,
Second win, that 13 car. It's that number 13. This is the second time. Well, it's actually just last week and this week where that 13 car has been in victory lane.
Third time he's won. He won at Homestead. I've only mentioned it several times. But yeah, congratulations to Ethan Workman. Let's see if he can pull it around here. Let's see if he can pull it around here. Do some sort of a burnout. He kind of had a little bit of an issue there at the end. As next week they'll go short track racing in the cornfields of Iowa. So definitely a lot of momentum here for Ethan Workman, carrying it into the start of the playoffs as he burns it down a little bit. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back here on Work TV Live with post-race interviews. The field is rolling on the back straightaway.
Get ready. This is going to be tight. Out of turn 4, ladies and gentlemen. The All-American 400 is underway.
Gotta be careful. The bumps here can get you every time. Entering the corner, exiting the corner. Hello, everybody, and welcome back today to Work TV. It's time for some post-race interviews here. We're going to bring in our winner, Ethan Workman. Give me just a second here. We're going to have to pull up the work replay for just a moment. I don't know why ATVO decided to crash real quick, but all right, we're all good here, folks. ATVO seems to be back. All right, now we're going to take off the work replay. We're going to bring in our race winner, Ethan Workman. Ethan, you are in the Work TV booth, buddy. Do you have a copy?
I do have a copy.
Well, we mentioned it earlier in the race. You were the last of everyone to put down a qualifying time. Didn't quite figure it out in qualifying. I had a weird feeling, though, you were going to try to go for that hard charger award, get the win here tonight. Ultimately, you did. What happened in qualifying, and what did you learn during the race that helped you to pull out the win here tonight?
Yeah, qualifying, I just screwed up on my second lap. I went off track at the end of the lap, like trying to cut down on the apron, coming to the line a little bit. But overall, that win was probably my most hardest win I've gotten so far. Out of all my 2 wins, this one was definitely the hardest so far.
Yeah, Ethan, going into the playoffs, do you feel like you've got a bit of momentum to carry that on and maybe go for a championship?
I believe I have a lot of momentum based on the tracks that are coming up for the playoffs, and I'm really confident that I can really win at those tracks or just get good finishes when I need to.
Well, Ethan, ultimately you come home here with your second win of the season. Second in wins so far this season of any of the drivers. Of course, Josh Patterson has 3. Everyone else has 1. So it gives you a little bit of prominence here as we head into the playoffs. I believe that gives you a little bit of extra playoff points. So all things aside, who do you want to thank tonight, bud?
I would like to thank Outlaw Racing and all of the drivers involved in that organization, as well as to thank Garrett A. White once again. Best buddy out there.
All right, folks. Outlaw Racing and Nova Sim Racing, they've been going at it all season long. Ethan Workman taking home the win here tonight. Congratulations to Ethan, and we're going to pull in P2 now. Justin Haley. Did Justin finish P2?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Justin finished P2. Sorry, Justin. I didn't see you finish P2. Well, welcome to the broadcast booth, buddy. You are now a playoff driver here. How does that feel knowing that you're going to be one of the 10 guys to fight for the championship? And what are your thoughts on your run tonight and how that momentum is going to carry forward through the playoffs?
Means absolutely nothing. I'm not here to win championships. I'm here to win races. And I felt like I was so close again this week after getting wrecked last week for the win. P2 this week. It's just dangling over my head. So at some point, I'd like to get the monkey off my back and get a checkered flag here in the GGR series.
So you said you're only here for wins, so why didn't you win tonight?
Well, like I said during my in-race interview, just lack of preparation. I thought I could make it the whole way on tires. Could not. Needed some fresh Firestone rubber. Put that on the car. Made a late race charge, and then I just didn't have the drafting help. My teammates out there, which were 0. I was trying to work some side deals with Christian Visconti, but he didn't want to take my money. So just out there, a lone wolf, and just trying to make things happen. You can't do that when you're drafting. So obviously gonna have to find some more horsepower over the off season here and see what we can do.
Yeah,
Well, congratulations on that second place finish. Do you have anyone you'd like to thank here tonight?
No, just myself. I mean, I put myself in these positions, and I'm super grateful for it.
Well,
he puts himself in great positions, but can't put himself in a victory lane. That's Justin Haley. We're gonna bring in.
Yeah, I wanted to say something to him, but that's fine, Q.
Nope.
Okay. I had a great comment. It's fun though.
Say it.
Glad you can wreck your brother one week and then not let me interview him the next. Just always interfering with your brother.
That's what we do here. High level motorsports. All right, let's bring in Josh Patterson. He finished P3. Clinched the regular season championship.
Yeah, I bet Quentin lets me talk to him. Josh, you're in the Work TV booth, bud. You didn't win tonight. What's the reason behind it?
Before I say anything, I just want to start off. I think Henry's a little bit deficient.
Right, looks like we had a little bit of a radio issue here with Josh Patterson. Let's give it a second to see if he comes back in here. Josh, we lost some communication with you, buddy. Do you happen to have a copy again?
All right, I'll tell you the story after the broadcast. Yeah, I got you.
All right, well, like I said, you didn't pull out the win tonight. You clinched the regular season championship, though, and ultimately a podium finish still isn't that bad. 3 wins on the season, 27 laps led tonight alone. Obviously, probably hundreds throughout the season. All things considered, you're obviously the favorite for this championship. Who, in terms of the people who are not going to be on track necessarily, but the guys who are your 10 playoff drivers, so not Paul. Which of those 10 drivers do you worry the most about, and which of the 10 drivers do you think you kind of have the least to worry about heading into this championship run here?
Not sure, honestly. I think the playoffs are gonna shake everything up quite a bit. I feel like there are a select few drivers, maybe I'd say 3 or 4, including myself, that have a legitimate shot at the championship.
Yeah, but I said name one.
But I'm give me an answer. But I feel like it's going to be mainly attendance based, as it has been all year. I mean, I was able to show up to every race, and that's why I won the championship by so much. But yeah, I mean, specifically probably Justin or Workman or Blake. I think they all have a good shot. My least worries are probably Dimitri. and Jack, they'll probably end up getting suspended before the end of the year. So I'm not too worried about them. But yeah, I think now that the playoff grid is set, it'll be a good end of the season and definitely heat things up quite a bit.
Q, you
Well,
gonna ask some
congratulations,
questions?
Josh, on that P3 and your regular season championship. Do you really feel like you have a momentum going into the playoffs, though? What are you most concerned about from yourself moving forward?
Yeah, I think the last couple races have given me some momentum. I feel like I've definitely figured out how to be there at the end for these races. So I've kind of worked the formula out. So I feel pretty confident about that, and I think we'll have a strong run. But I mean, my only fear is that just we'll get involved in incidents we don't want to. And that could put us on the back foot. I'm not too sure how the playoff format works, so I'm not sure how close I'll be to elimination or if it's just a straight shot to the end. But yeah, I think we'll be able to do pretty well here, and I'm gonna try to take home the championship.
Well, if it's anything like season one, you won't know how the playoffs work until after about 2 races in. But nevertheless, Josh, congratulations. You'll be the points leader heading into it. 3 wins
Oh,
on the
nice.
season, so a lot of
Two,
playoff points
but
there.
yeah.
You have 3 wins on the season. Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, I forgot Ryan Ayers took one from you.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, before we let you go, Josh, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
Oh yeah, I gotta thank everybody at Nova Sim Racing, Jay Moeller, Paul Granata. Shout out to Muttley. Fortunately, Paul lost him over the last week, so thoughts and prayers to him. I gotta thank you guys for broadcasting, and the whole brigade. So let's start off with that. JP Designs, Belfort Proper Restorations, NTN, Endurance Distributions, Vulture Racing Engines, Work and Work TV Broadcasting, Dunk Pools, the NASCAR Hotspot, Circle B Diecast, Patriot Clutches, the Keystone Corner, EVC Automotive, Visco Media, the coveted Henry Cam, Twitch TV / iRacer95, Limeade Media, and anybody else who I missed on the car. New paint scheme for tonight was really nice, debuting the playoff car. I got to thank Ethan for running the league and all the admins for putting together a good show tonight. And I got to thank everybody for coming on track, coming out, and giving me a great race and a good night.
All right. Well, Josh, once again, congratulations on the regular season championship, the podium tonight, and best of luck to you here in the playoffs. All right, and Q dragged him out right away. So apparently, I don't know why he's in the waiting room, but we're just gonna give him an interview. I don't even know where he finished. Let's see, where did he finish here? 13th here. Um, Henry, you're in the Work TV booth, buddy. You have a coffee?
Yeah, man.
All right, we're interviewing you here. You led 4 laps. You had a little bit of a pit strategy in the middle there, but I didn't actually see how you fell 4 laps down. What happened there, Florida man?
Oh, so basically, I was racing. Christian, I guess, gave me a Phantom 4X. Did my penalty. Ethan Harris never cleared it, and basically got DQ'd. Then he cleared it after, and that's how I went 4 laps down.
All right, well that's unfortunate for you. You definitely looked like you had a chance to win there. Q, do you have anything you want to say to Henry?
It's always great to see you out here, Henry. Unfortunately, you just didn't have the finish you wanted. Yeah, I hope to see you next week, and hopefully you can get the monkey off your back and win.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, Henry. Well, before we let you go, buddy, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
Anyone you want to thank tonight, Henry?
I want to thank you guys for broadcasting, like always. Always a pleasure. You guys here. It's always awesome. I want to thank Bryson Collins for Outlaw Racing. And that's basically it.
All right,
Oh,
Henry. Oh.
and Josh Patterson for making schemes. JP Designs.
All right, Henry. Well, thanks, buddy. Hopefully we'll see you around, and hopefully you can add to your all-time wins lead here in the GGR Indycar series sometime through the playoffs, and you can play a little bit of playoff spoiler.
Yep.
All right,
Thanks, guys.
that was Henry Clapper. I'm not sure why we interviewed him, but we did. Well, Q, that does it here tonight for us here from the SS Edmund Fitzgerald Memoriam 150 here. Tomorrow marks I don't know, what is that, like 46 years since it happened. Yeah, something
I
like
still
that.
don't know what the Edmund Fitzgerald is. I think
don't.
it's a ship,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, it's
Or
like
a
a ship
song.
that sunk in like like Michigan or Superior. I don't know. Something about a song. Ethan Harrison, Blake Kennedy, big historians, so they put this event on here for the regular season finale here in the GGR Oregon Diecast
Yeah.
IndyCar Series. Make sure to go check out Oregon Diecast. Follow him on Instagram at Oregon Diecast. And thanks to the 22 drivers who came out tonight, and congratulations to our 10 playoff contenders. I'm going to read them off real quick for you here. Josh Patterson, Ethan Workman, Blake Kennedy, Jay Mulder, Anthony Sharps, Ethan Harrison, Aiden Oxidine, Jack Leslie, Dimitri Mundros, and Justin Haley. So congratulations to those 10 drivers. Before we go, Q, do you have any final words?
Thanks to all of our viewers back home who allow Brazen and I to do this. Happy that Jay Mulder isn't going to be broadcasting more races this season. That was an absolute disaster. Thankfully for everyone else, I'm not racing anymore as well. So, maybe they'll have a clean car at the end of these races.
All right, folks. That'll do it for us here tonight from the GGR Oregon Diecast IndyCar Series here at the SS Edmund Fitzgerald Memorial.